came prepared!
Hello and welcome to the 100th episode of the Comedeorological Report. I am Imogen Cookie Bailey with Morbo Fishpaw, who is a little lion today. We've just gone for a nice walk along the Gorge Waterway. There it is. A cloudy, breezy day. Perfect cat weather for him to be dressed like a lion. Over to you, Frankie.
Say hi, Joey Only!
Hi.
Say hi, Joey Only!
Hi, Joe Only.
I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Joey Only has his podcast on his YouTube channel, Terrible Weather Do, Comedian plus Meteorology. Joey Only is a really nice guy. He does weather reports. He fights fires in British Columbia. Joey Only is a really nice guy. I'm on the Joey Only show. It's on the radio stations. It's CFUR 88.7 FM radio station in Prince George. It's CKUW 5.9 FM radio station in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's CFBX 92.5 FM radio station in Kamloops, British Columbia. And I'm on Shaw TV, with Joey Only show. It's on Shaw TV and Shaw Spotlight TV all across the country of Canada. Joey Only's a really nice guy. He fights fires in British Columbia Interior. And Joey Only's a really nice guy. He has his YouTube channel, his podcast, Terrible Weather Do, Comedian plus Meteorology, on every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Best luck to you. I'm Frank Down. You're listening to Joey Only show every Thursday night. Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi, Joe Only.
Joey Only.
Joey Only. Joey Only?
Yes.
Joey Only. Hi, Joe Only.
Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi, Joe Only.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Hello, Victoria. Good morning, Prince George. Good afternoon, Winnipeg. I don't know when Kamloops or if, but if Kamloops is listening, hello to you too, you Kamloopians. I'm Joey Only, the host of your show, the Comedeorological Report. Comedy plus meteorology equals Comedeorology. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. It's a science that I invented along with my friend Frankie 100 episodes ago. So this is pilot number 2 for Shaw Spotlight, but this is 100 episodes. This is the 100th time that Frankie MacDonald and I have got together and talked about the weather and called it the Comedeorology Report. We've talked many, many more times than that on Zoom calls and Skype calls and on other people's shows, on the Gary Dino show. And I watched him on Bass Guy Jack Campbell, Casey last week. And so really the show is mostly Frankie MacDonald and I talking about the world's weather stories. Well, eventually I met this guy, Brandon Houck, and I was like, hey, you're a cool radio guy. You got something to offer. Why don't you come on board the show? He's down in Brooks, Alberta, and he's also the radio producer of the Brooks Bennett's hockey team. They've gone 53 wins, 3 losses. Oh, what was it? 53, 5, and 3 on their season. So top in Canada again, looking to get another national championship. Brandon's very proud of his Brooks Bandits. We'll be talking to him about that and all the storm watches and warnings in Alberta that are going on for all 1,000 side roads and range roads and every house. And Imogen Cookie Bailey, she's down there in Victoria. She's got... Okay, so that's Brandon making a crazy echo. Imogen Cookie Bailey, she's down there in Victoria. She is the associate producer, I suppose, of the show. We were talking on the phone this week, making plans on how we're going to take the show worldwide. We're going to do it because everybody was talking about how funny weather is. And, can you believe that no one ever thought of this show before? And I was like, what should I name a show like this? Before Frankie and I started to have a show, and I was like, comedy, meteorology, comedeorology. That's funny. Ha! And that's how it happened. So I invented it. Can't steal it. It's a science and it's a show. Thank you to all the meteorology students out there in the land of Winnipeg. I know you just love our show. We love you too. Then we got Hilding Donaldson. He's this farmer up in Grassy Plains. It's about 300 kilometers by way of Cow from here. He's a good person to talk to about weather. Okay, that's what we got so far. First things first, most importantly, Frankie MacDonald.
Frankie, the weatherman. Frankie, the weatherman. Who? Frankie. Who? Frankie.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie!
How you doing so far this week, Frankie?
Hurricane warning, earthquake warning, hurricane warning, earthquake warning. Right now it's cold outside in my hometown, Sydney, Nova Scotia. The weather's cold. There's a big storm heading for Nova Scotia next Tuesday and Wednesday. It's going to bring a lot of snow because the Greenland blocks up in Greenland, and they got the polar jet stream and Pacific jet stream and tropical subtropical jet stream. Once those jet streams merge together, that's going to cause a huge storm next week sometime in eastern North America. It's going to affect New England, Maine, parts of Quebec, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland, Labrador. Then it got heavy rain in Los Angeles on Friday. It's going to bring a lot of rain. Los Angeles, San Diego, Long Beach, Orange County, Anaheim, Victorville, Corona, California, including Hollywood, Burbank, California. It's going to bring a lot of rain on Friday. It's going to bring lots of rain in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas, including up in the mountains as well. It's going to bring lots of snow up in the mountains in California. This is Frankie MacDonald, my own TV station, live from Sydney, Nova Scotia. Heavy rain is headed towards Los Angeles, California on Friday, March 10th, 2023. It's going to bring a lot of rain in greater Los Angeles, California, and the surrounding areas, including Burbank, California, Hollywood, California, Long Beach, California, Anaheim, California, Corona, California, Victorville, California, Orange County, California. It's going to bring a lot of rain in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas as well. It's going to bring a lot of rain. There will be a lot of puddles on the streets, and streets, roads, highways, and freeways will be wet in Los Angeles, Long Beach, Burbank, Hollywood, Anaheim, including Victorville, California, Orange County, California, Corona, California. Friday will not be a good day to head to the beach and go swimming in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas as well. People in Los Angeles, California, be prepared. Have your rubber boots ready. Have your raincoats ready. Have your rain suits ready. When you go for a walk, wear your rain gear, wear your rubber boots, wear your raincoats to keep it dry. Don't drive through the puddles. Avoid the puddles or drive a car when you go for a walk. Don't walk through the puddles for Los Angeles, because a lot of rain is happening on Friday, March 10th, 2023. If anybody live in Los Angeles, California, be prepared for heavy rain on Friday, March 10th, 2023. Take care and stay safe. Don't get caught in heavy rain. Stay dry, be safe. And Vancouver, British Columbia is going to bring lots of rain on the west coast of British Columbia, snow up in the mountains this week as well. And there's a video I did to Asteroid 2023 DW headed towards the Earth on Wednesday, February 14th, 2046. Oh my god, the aliens are here!
What's that noise?
Sounds like a flying saucer is coming. There's dozens of aliens coming from planet Sedna, Eris, Ceres, and Quawar.
Hey, what's that?
Sounds like alien ships are coming, and spaceships and flying saucers are coming. Oh my god, spaceships are creating tornadoes. The spaceships just bypassed the asteroid 1997 XF11. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh my god, there's more alien ships. Oh my god, there's more aliens. The asteroid 2023 DW is headed towards the Earth on Wednesday, February 14, 2046. There is 1 in 560 chance of asteroid hitting the Earth at 4:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want every single person to be prepared. Have your binoculars ready, have your telescopes ready, look up the asteroid up in the sky, because the asteroid 2023 DW is heading towards the Earth. It's going to bypass the Earth. There is 1 in 560 chance of asteroid hitting the Earth at 4:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, February 14, 2046. Be prepared! Be prepared! The asteroid 2023 DW is somewhere far, far, far away up in the outer space right now. Best luck, you, Frank down. Be prepared. Be prepared! It's an asteroid 2023 DW. There's a 1 in 560 chance of asteroid hitting the Earth.
1 in 560 chance of this asteroid ruining Valentine's Day in the year 2046. Very distressing news today from the world of asteroids. Frankie, what's the weather doing down in Antarctica?
Right now, Antarctica is getting darker right now because their autumn starts on March 20th. Their summer's coming to an end. Their autumn starts on March 20th, 2023. Down in Central America, they're bringing lots of thunderstorms to rain in South America, like Brazil and Peru and Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, and those countries. In Bolivia, they're bringing lots of thunderstorms to rain. And northern Brazil, as of right now, they're bringing lots of thunderstorms to rain in Venezuela. It's really, really, really dry in northern Chile right now. And their fall starts on March 20th down Chile, Argentina, and Brazil. They're south of the equator. Their fall starts on March 20th. When on March 20th, 2023, the sun's direct rays reaches at the equator. That means that once again on June 21st, the sun's direct rays will be aiming at the Tropic of Cancer. And up around, they had a lot of snow in London, England. This week, it bringing so much snow in England. Like lots of snow in London, England. That could cause chaos over there in England because they're not used to snow. They're bringing lots of snow up around Norway, Finland, Sweden. Roads of snow covered with snow in Sweden somewhere. There's lots of snow going on in Sweden lately. There'll be lots of storms coming off in Japan and South Korea next week. And one storm right after another in South Korea. Same with Vladivostok, and Siberia is getting warmer right now. And bit by bit for next few months in Yakutsk and those places, the temperature's getting warmer there. Right now in Yakutsk, Omyankan, Norilsk, the weather is gradually warming up because Siberian high is gradually weakening bit by bit. And up around Australia and New Zealand, they're bringing lots of cold air and warm air fighting each other because Australia's and New Zealand's autumn starts on March 20th, 2023. That's their autumn. Their days are getting shorter. My days are getting longer. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Congo, Gabon, Uganda, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Mozambique.
Hurricane warning! Earthquake warning! Hurricane warning!
Tropical cyclone Freddy is the long-lived tropical cyclone in Mozambique and Madagascar. Those places, long-lived tropical cyclone Freddy is still alive. It came all the way from Indonesia back in February. And I did a video on Mozambique, and people all the way down South Africa are watching my videos and things like this. But the tropical cyclone Freddy is still alive. That's a world record.
It crossed the entire Indian Ocean, didn't it, Frankie?
Yes, it did. It's still off of Mozambique. It's heading for there next week, round 3, to hit Mozambique once again because of the walking pattern going on in off the southeast African coast. In places like this, it's really dry in Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Morocco. There's lots of, pretty soon, there'll be intense sandstorms going on in July 2023. A lot of dry, dusty air coming off of northwestern Africa, driving all the dry, dusty air all the way down to Cuba, Dominican Republic, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. That's a long distance all the way from Sahara Desert, traveling all the dry, dusty air all the way to southeastern United States and the Gulf Coast.
So, Frankie, it's spring training now for baseball. Teams like the Kamloops Cardinals and the Fort St. James Stinkers are getting ready for another big year of baseball. What's the weather like down in Florida where spring training is going on?
Right now, it's warm temperatures, cold temperatures fighting each other. Down in baseball, spring training, if the cold weather approaches, baseball players better start wearing warm clothes and things like this.
Frankie, who do you think's going to win the World Series this year?
Too hard to tell. You have to go through regular season. Starts in April. They'll be starting the regular season. Team that won the World Series last season, they'll be raising to some kind of flag. They'll be starting a whole new baseball season all over again. And hockey will be finishing up in their playoffs start in April, May, and June. In National Hockey League, their playoff starts.
Yeah, in 1993 in April, I was in Skydome for the season opener, and they raised the 1992 World Series banner, and everyone got their World Series ring. I think Toronto has a pretty good chance this year, don't you? They got pitching, they got speed, they got outfield defense, they got power still. And really, the bullpen is now looking really solid.
Last time the Blue Jays made it to the third round of the playoffs, that was 2016.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good when Edwin hit that big homer to knock Baltimore out. Every time I see Jose's bat flip, just feels so good. And when I see Joe's home run off Mitch Williams, does it even 25, 30 years later, I get emotional seeing that. So, Frankie, this weekend is a big weekend in the world of clocks. It's the weekend where we purposely punish ourselves and subject ourselves to sleep problems. People miss church and they get up late and they forget to set their clocks. And what's going on this weekend, Frankie? What causes all this chaos?
That means when the time springs ahead, you have to set 1 clock hour ahead. That means people have to go to bed 1 hour early because school just sprint ahead. That's why I went to bed 1 hour early the other couple of nights ago. I was practicing for sprint ahead. One thing I learned, because I used to work night shifts in downtown east side of Vancouver, was never take a night shift on fall back, but always take a night shift on spring forward. And for spring forward, that means I want everyone to go to bed 1 hour early so to keep up the schedule on time. That means that's going to affect Gary Dino Show, Boo Zoom, and things like that. That's going to affect all the podcast schedules and things like this. Base Guy Show, better be prepared for that too. I'm on Base Guy Show Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 4 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 12 p.m. 4 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be on Base Guy Show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jack Casey, a.k.a. Base Guy Show, on my podcast every Friday afternoons. I don't think that'll affect Gary Dino Boozing Show because they go all night long and don't sleep. So they get like 1 less hour. So, when they do fun, they go to bed at 2 p.m. on Sunday. It won't make any difference. So that's Frankie MacDonald, the author of Be Prepared, Frankie MacDonald, the Life, Universe, Weather, Everything, Quantum Physics, Santa Claus. Teaches about the weather patterns, weather models, things like this. It teaches weather models when you study the weather models. Before I study the weather models, before I even do my weather forecast. If it's a big bad storm, I warn people far in advance. That's the thing. Including Wisconsin blizzards, Minnesota blizzards, severe thunderstorms, hurricanes in Florida, tornadoes in southern states and central states, severe thunderstorms like Nebraska and all these places, like severe weather, tornadoes, large hail that can break car windows and damage car windows and things like this. Last month, I was doing a report on Turkey earthquake. I told people to be prepared for future earthquakes in Turkey. Frankie, has anyone seen The Guy lately? Where's the guy been? Okay, guys, let's do a guy acting like a cat. Okay, guys, we're going to do a guy acting like a dog. And wind's going to be pretty strong on the west coast as well. Then it got cold air heading all the way down Texas and Arkansas next week. It sounds like a hyenas are chasing after me. Oh my god, the hyenas are after me! Okay, guys, we're going to do a guy acting like a gorilla with eating pizzas. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a video about the guy eating 50 hot dogs at once. The god is far, 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 far away. The guy? The guy who eats 50 hot dogs, the guy who acts like a cat, the guy, where's the guy? I'm the guy that does. Guy tries to eat 50 hot dogs at once. I did that video on May 21st, 2012. And my very first video got so many views. A severe earthquake warning for California in September 2010. It's on my YouTube channel. It don't exist anymore. Yeah, but you haven't done a guy video in a while, that's all I'm saying. I'm working on the next guy doing a video. It's like the guy dancing like a vampire drinking green tea and things like this. The vampire drinking tea, that's the kind of comedy video I did. And another video I did, the guy dancing, then raining tacos, the guy dancing, then being chased by gorillas. The guy tries to eat 100 hot dogs at once. The guy dancing, then being chased by tigers. That's another video I did.
So can you just circle back to the guy with the vampires? Was he being chased by them or?
the vampire dancing videos, the guy acting like a dog, the guy acting like a cat, things like this. Those are the videos I did on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
The guy acted like a cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when it comes to the weather, Frankie's love of weather and predictions are accurate enough that I suspect he's actually a wizard, and we just don't know this. Because Frankie's had enough accurate predictions of extreme weather or earthquakes, stuff of that nature, that the accuracy indicates he's actually behind it. Now, do we have any evidence that Frankie is not the one causing major earthquakes and strange weather phenomena?
We have no evidence that Frankie is not the one doing that, and he does have a wizard kind of hat on.
I guess the earthquake prediction, like I did a video on for massive earthquake hit New Zealand anytime soon on Friday, October 21st, 2016. 3 weeks later on November 13, 2016, my earthquake prediction came true. So many people watched my video for that.
Why did you do that to those poor people in New Zealand? What did they do, Frankie? What did they do to deserve that?
They have to be prepared for earthquakes in the future.
Yeah, and people in Vancouver, you can't escape major earthquakes forever.
People in Vancouver, you can't escape from major earthquakes forever.
People in Vancouver, British Columbia, they can't escape from major earthquakes forever as well.
Well, I do have a question. So Frankie had mentioned Antarctica earlier. Now, is Antarctica, to clarify, is Antarctica where we find penguins or polar bears?
Penguins in Antarctica, and the penguins are in Antarctica, and scientists in Antarctica, like McMurdo Station, Emerson Scott Sulfo Station, they celebrate their 4th of July on their own way. Down in Antarctic research stations, they celebrate Good Friday and Easter in their own way too. They celebrate Good Friday. They have to have a priest down at Antarctic research station because they have to need a place of worship down in Antarctic research station, like a place of worship.
Well, and you never know when predators and aliens might show up, and it's good to have priests around.
Well, I actually read earlier today that it's a tradition at the Antarctic Research Station that when they have their week of darkness, where it's like during their winter, it's the darkest of winter, farthest away from the sun, they have a week of darkness and no daylight. It's a tradition to watch The Thing, because that's where it's set. And there's a horror movie to watch there. That's the one.
In other places, it's the tradition in Antarctica to become the thing. Becoming the thing. Any other questions for Francis MacDonald?
Actually, yes.
Joe Stover's entering the room.
Howdy, folks. Joe Stover here, a junior comedeorologist here on the Comedeorology Report. I'm in the field again here in Churchill, Manitoba, as our last tour group to see the Northern Lights have a couple more nights out on the bush, which is where I will be and why I can't join you again live on the panel tonight. As for next week, the Walter Lundy Memorial Hockey Tournament is in town, and I will be playing for the second favorite hockey team of this show, the Churchill Treeliners. Now, we all know who our favorite team is. No, it's not Joey Only's Toronto Maple Leafs, but Brandon Houck's Brooks Bandits, who I think have cemented themselves as the unofficial favorite team of this here show. Anyway, before I shoot back to Joey and the gang, I wanted to go over my favorite weather websites. Everybody has one, or in many of our cases, several. I'm a basic sort of chap, so I usually use 3. The first is good old Environment Canada. Say what you want about them, but for me, the feds have the technology and some serious knowledge with their crew, so especially living here in Churchill on the coast of Hudson Bay, it's a mandatory go-to. The second expands on that a little bit, and most of you have heard of this website, but if you haven't, are you in for some fun? Windy.com. I mean windy.com, as in the wind. The layers you can play with for hours. It is a map showing your wind, your precipitation, your temperatures, snow depth, UV index, sea temperatures, current speed, and even the wet bulb temperature. I'll let Brandon tell you what that is. And it also incorporates not just surface weather, but weather up to 60,000 feet. They also have radar and satellite layers, which are extremely helpful, and it's a terrific site. And the third website I use is the aviation weather website provided by Nav Canada. The portal I like to use is plan.navcanada.ca. There's a tab that says weather and NOTAM, and that website is used mostly by pilots and those in the aviation industry. but it is a great tool for those who aren't. It provides more detailed current weather, which are called METARs, METAR, which are meteorological terminal air reports, provided usually by a person in the tower at the airport on the hour, unless there's some significant weather, in which case they report it really, really quick, which is another reason why this site is great. And they also provide a very short-term, very accurate too, relatively short-term forecast called a TAF, T-A-F, which stands for Terminal Area Forecast. They provide the basics of what is happening and what most likely will happen. And they are also home to a favorite map of this show's panel, I'm sure, the graphical forecasts. Yes, it shows pilots and weather fans alike what significant weather is expected and when and where. Joey does a great job of explaining how those work and how to understand them, and I'm sure he'll direct you to a helpful video to understand them in depth. Anyway, I'm about to go see some Aurora Borealis. The night is clear, and the moon doesn't rise for another 3 hours, so that's going to be perfect. Hopefully I'll have some pictures for you next week, some videos too, if they're really good. Anyway, that's it for me. Have a great show. Joey, back to you and the gang.
Well, we got about 9 centimeters of snow this morning, and the snow is starting to ease off. Just a few flurries, even seeing a few breaks in the cloud. And these flurries are likely going to persist for the remainder of the day, and actually for the remainder of the week too. And this is not snowball snow. Oh no, this is fluffy stuff. So when you throw it, it goes all over the place, just like this. See? All over the place. I got snow all over the camera. All over the phone now. Thanks, guys. This is your fault. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to continue to see snow persist through the week, kind of off and on, and temperatures are going to remain below freezing and below seasonal all week. Have fun, everyone. Sorry. Spring? Not coming this week. Nope.
Well, Joe's showing up. Brandon Hauk, there is storm warnings now for all 1,000 side roads, range roads, and houses in the Brooks region and beyond. Tell me, why is there such an extensive list of places in your Environment Canada warnings? Clearly, it could just say snowing everywhere. Like it does that here. It doesn't say like snowfall warning in Wells, Quesnel. You know, it just says Caribou North, Caribou South. So all 1,000 roads and houses, all 10,000 houses in Brooks, Alberta, there's a warning for all of them. Talk to us about the weather system that's been sitting off the coast there, kind of near Vancouver Island and off the coast of Washington State. And it's the backside of it's kind of coming up and around, and you're getting targeted first. Then it's going to make its way into southern BC this weekend. Then the low is going to come flying across sometime Monday, maybe the northern tip of Vancouver Island, maybe right straight through the Caribou here into Alberta.
Yeah, so we got a couple low pressure systems off the Pacific coast, kind of like a sandwich of lows today, and that has produced pretty significant weather on the coast of California once again, with significant snow and heavy rain once again as well. And they've got the, as I mentioned, the atmospheric river there, and that's going to be that moisture feed that's going to be affecting us as that new Clipper system develops coming out of Idaho tomorrow, and that's going to produce an area of fairly heavy snow. Looks to begin here in the southern part of the province on the 10th of March here. So that begins probably right around 9 a.m. in the southwestern corner of the province, probably reaching the Brooks area around lunchtime on Friday the 10th afternoon there. And then we'll eventually start seeing that heavier pocket of snow moving into southern portions of the province through the day on Friday. Now, the other story is going to be the winds, especially in the southern portions of Saskatchewan, with the winds out of the west southwest at about 20 to 30 kilometers an hour, gusting to about 50 to 60 kilometers an hour. So that is going to lead to the potential for blowing and drifting snow. And we do have blizzard warnings in the Estevan area, so we could be in for a fairly dangerous blizzard, especially Friday night into Saturday morning areas around Estevan and Weyburn, Saskatchewan there. So that is going to be the big situation, especially Friday night into Saturday with blizzard conditions expected. And then we will likely be dealing with the snow persisting well into Saturday, especially across southern portions of Saskatchewan. 10 to 20 centimeters of snow expected from areas, let's say, around Medicine Hat, extending right across southern portions of Saskatchewan, with areas in the southeastern corner of the province potentially getting up to about 25 centimeters of snowfall there. So that is going to be that's going to be quite a storm for Friday into Saturday across the southern prairies, as we're still locked in this cold Arctic air mass. We have Arctic area of high pressure situated over Hudson Bay there, and that is allowing for that cold air pretty much battling it out with that Pacific air mass in British Columbia. And that's why we've got this pretty nasty storm moving across the northern plains into the southern prairies for the next 24 to 48 hours. And then looks like we have another system coming in for next week. That's going to be more so BC's problem, especially for late this weekend with more heavy rain on the coastal sections of BC. And we'll likely be dealing with that heavy snow on into the BC interior as well. And then that's going to produce a weak Chinook Monday-ish into Tuesday. And we'll have to watch that Clipper system move its way across the prairies. And that will probably produce another round of snow into next week, Tuesday into Wednesday-ish. So
well, it's really all the same system, wouldn't you say, Brandon? It's
partially
it's doing this. It's doing this on its way through. So first you're getting this, and then later on you're going to get this.
Yeah,
is that fair to say?
Warm front,
and you get that nice, and you get the nice Chinook kind of in between. And then you're talking about. I do want to come back to you some more and talk to you all about. I got so many of my favorite people here, and I can just tell because Joe Stover has shown up. You were talking about the Hudson Bay Arctic chill, and that was a perfect time. And I see Joe's in the dark, so I'm suspicious that maybe he's watching Northern Lights right now.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm just got about a bar of reception, but I'm here in Churchill, Manitoba, actually about 10 kilometers south of Churchill, Manitoba, in the bush here. I got away from my tour group there. We're here in a yurt, checking out the Northern Lights. We're just waiting for the lights to start. It's great. It's a clear night right now. The moon is just starting to rise, so we're not getting much light interference from the moon just yet. But the stars are beautiful, and we're just waiting for even a wisp of aurora to show up. And so far, it's been a really good season. This is our last group of the year. For Northern Lights season before it starts to warm up just a little bit. And of course, the warmer it gets, the more precipitation there is, and which means that there's more cloud cover. And everybody knows that the natural enemy of the Aurora Borealis is clouds. So, I was able to step away, and I'm glad that I can hang out with my favorite folks, even if it's just for a few minutes. I did send you a video earlier, Joey, because I didn't think I was going to be able to do this, but here I am.
Excellent. So what's the temperature in
cool.
Churchill right now?
Right now, the temperature's starting to drop a little bit. It's actually a very nice, about minus 19, I think, was the last reported temperature, and it feels that way. I'm not in my huge Canada Goose jacket or my big giant ski pants and big honking boots. I'm able to get away with just my regular kind of winter / spring jacket. Got my Times Change High and Lonesome toque on. I've got my Stades hoodie on, and that's really all I need. So it's looking really good. The forecast for the next week here on the shores of Hudson Bay is like minus 15s across the board, which is getting close to sort of seasonable for the middle of March. But it's nice and calm here on the shores of Hudson Bay, even though the Hudson Bay is wreaking havoc with your weather down there in the prairies and and a little bit of the foothills there.
Last night that we had a 7 on the KP, so there was some pretty good activity. we're seeing 5s and maybe 6. It seems like we're getting a calm down, and maybe your last group. I mean, there is some green up through there, up into northern Quebec and into Greenland.
Yeah, it's a 3.3 right now, and I mean that's okay because as we know, the lights can just explode. A high KP, of course, it doesn't guarantee anything. It just makes the odds higher. And I've come outside on a very low KP and had the sky completely explode. So you just never know what Mother Nature has in store for you. But let me tell you, it's like I said, it's been a great season. We've had some people who have never seen the lights before that, you know, they look up and see them and they're bawling their eyes out, you know. So it really gives you some perspective that people spend a lot of money to come up here and see what I get to see every morning and every evening when I wake up and go to bed.
Is there a polar bear still around in Churchill, Manitoba, and north of Churchill?
Some of them, yes. So the majority of the polar bears right now are all on the frozen Hudson Bay eating seals. That's what they all do this time of year as the bay freezes. But we are seeing some bears right now. The only bears that we're seeing are mums and cubs because around this time of year, February, March, the mums give birth to their cubs in December, and right around like I said, last month into this month now, the cubs are ready to emerge from the den, and they are beelining it right now from their denning areas, which are about 40 kilometers to the south,
right towards Northern Lights watching groups.
Yeah.
With a polar play dead. No, polar bears eat dead things.
Yeah, as long as they're not headed towards us, that would be good. But no, they're heading out there on the Hudson Bay right now because the mums haven't eaten in about 8 months. Now, I get pretty ornery when I haven't eaten for 5 minutes. So you can imagine 8 months without food. Oh, man, that's some hangry.
I could do it.
I couldn't. I wish I had your willpower, Joey. Anyway, I must run, folks. Have a great rest of the show, and we'll chat with you all soon.
Good to see you, Joe. Love you, Joe.
Say hi, Joe Yoli.
Hi, Joey.
I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to Community Watch Weather Report every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Joe Yoli's a really nice guy. He fights fires in Wales, British Columbia. He's a volunteer firefighter. I'm on, and Joe Yoli's show is on CFUR 88.7 FM in Prince George, CKUW 95.9 FM in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops, British Columbia. It's on Shaw TV, and it's on Shaw Spotlight Television across Canada. Joe Yoli's a really nice guy. He fights fires in British Columbia. Joe Yoli's a really nice man. He fights fires in British Columbia. Yeah, I'm on Joe Yoli Show every Thursday nights on his YouTube channel, on his podcast. It's every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Say hi, Joe Yoli. I'm Frankie MacDonald.
Hi, Joey.
I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to Joe Yoli Show, Community plus Meteorology, Community Watch Weather Report every Thursday nights with Frankie MacDonald.
Brandon Hauk, the Brooks Bandits are 53 wins, 5 losses, 3 overtime losses. You are the producer of the Brooks Bandits radio broadcast, and you are expecting another national championship. I know you get a bye in the first round. Talk to us about hockey just a little bit. Everyone wants to know about hockey. Of course, I'm ready for baseball already, but
Yeah. The Brooks Bandits. Well, we had a pretty much successful hockey season here once again with a pile of wins, 53 wins, 5 losses, and absolutely an incredible season for the Bandits club. And now we get the bye for the first round of the playoffs, and we will be sitting out for a couple of weeks here. So while the other teams, they start their playoff run tomorrow, actually. So they start round 1. And then now we have to wait to find out who we're going to play. And that round begins about March 24th, 25th. Yeah. So we'll be waiting for round 2 to begin in a couple of weeks. And then going for the big cup, the National Cup again this year for, I'd say, almost, could be a 4th cup if we win this one this year.
round 2, fight.
That's right.
Bandits, finish him. Okay, Saturday, -7 Prince George, 40% chance of flurries, -9 at night. So here's that backside of that low we were just talking about coming through. The low's going to start pushing through. Sunday, 0 degrees, nice. -5 at night, nice. And then, it's going to warm up through the week. Monday,
And it-
-2, 60% chance of flurries, -12 at night, 60% chance of flurries. Tuesday, cloudy, 1 degrees, 6 degrees during the day on Wednesday. Oh, you can feel it. There's chances of spring. There's it's sniffs of it in the air, isn't there? Isn't there, Frankie?
MJO is negative. MJO is negative. It's in phase 8 right now. And the Green Lane block, that could cause a big, huge storm off the east coast of the United States. Going to bring a lot of snow all across New England next week.
Are people honking at you, or are they honking at an accent or something, or a moose?
People honk at me because I have so many fans all over the world, every country in the world. I got so many fans of mine.
Well, it wasn't people over the world. It was Sydney, Nova Scotians driving around, and they love Frankie MacDonald, don't they?
And Monica Beaulieu, she's in Bonaventure, Quebec. It's cold outside in Bonaventure, Quebec as well, where Monica Beaulieu is at. Monica Beaulieu will return to your show.
I would love that. We all love Monica. Good person. Bonaventure, Quebec. So,
The Brandon Houck Report.
Oh, hi. I'm Brandon Houck. This is the Brandon Houck Report on the Comedeorological Report. It makes no sense, and this is a show that makes no sense sometimes. And, we're going to go around the world. First, we're going to go to China, where apparently a family has had this dog for 2 years, and, well, they found out that it was not a dog. It was a bear. Now, how did they find out it's a bear? Well, eventually it stood up on its 2 feet. It went into the cabinet, going after the honey, and it went, oh, bother. Anyways, now, moving on to this next story, speaking of bears here, the National Park Services in the U.S. have warned people not to push their slower friends down in an attack of a bear. First off, you're not supposed to run from a bear. No, you're not. You're supposed to stand up on your 2 feet. You gotta be as tall as the bear, and you gotta try to scare that bear away with making as much noise as possible. And how to prevent a bear? Encounter a bear. Make noise in the woods, right? Right. Now, another story, speaking of animals here, we're gonna go to the Utah here, where the bullfrog has taken over the state. So authorities have told people to avoid having more bullfrogs is to eat them. That's a good idea. And finally, we go to the pub in the UK where a waitress is so scared of a bottle of ketchup it would make her cry. So my suggestion is to have my face on a bottle of each and every bottle of ketchup on the planet, and eventually a bottle of ketchup would not be as scary. That is the Brandon Houck Report.
Brandon, was there any weird facts that didn't make it into your show this week? Any extra weird facts? You got something weird for us?
Anything else that happened weird, hey?
Besides your image?
Yeah. So did you know dinosaurs existed before Saturn had rings?
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. You did?
Yeah, well, that's
learn
how
that
the rings
today?
got there, because of the dinosaurs.
That's right. And did you also know fast walkers tend to live longer than slow walkers? So if you walk really fast.
Yeah, they say short people are more likely to have strokes, heart attacks, and things like this, while very tall people are more likely to hit their heads on low ceiling fixtures, lights, and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Branches.
Funny that when you're tall enough to reach it. On the topic of nature and space, fruit flies were actually the first living creatures that were sent into space. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's great. Isn't that great? It's like, let's export the most, and they should, if it's not for mosquitoes or something, like, I bet you that probe's crashed somewhere now, and there's like fruit flies everywhere on Io.
We launched an alien invasion using annoying insects. That's the way to do it, man.
Totally ruin the universe.
Although, to be fair, I feel like it wasn't intentional, but they just sort of were in something they weren't supposed to be, and that's how they got up there. They just sneaked on board.
They might have had sharks on Mars once upon a time.
Frankie, is there fruit flies on Mars?
Then one day they have to send those cattle and livestock and plants and animals up in the space shuttle to Mars one day, like cows, boars, chickens, turkeys, things like this. All those farm animals and livestock and things like this.
Well, it would make no sense to transport the livestock, as Hilding might agree, when you could just transport, say, frozen embryos that when you land at said world that we plan to populate with cattle. So say we plan to go to Io and live under the ice with our underwater cattle. We just bring them the test tube cattle rather than trying to bring a herd of. Hilding, what would bringing a herd of cattle onto a spaceship be like, you think? I mean, we can't have cow turds just floating around in zero gravity.
They have to get a special thing for cow. Before
I think cows are pretty much. I think cows are pretty much made for the earth, and it's be pretty hard to transport them that far. Even when we transport them here, there's trouble, you know.
Have you had trouble transporting cattle this week?
Well, not this week, but just a month or two ago, we went to haul cows to the auction mart, and it was too cold, and they said it was too cold to transport cattle, so we had to wait to the right day. And cattle truck drivers don't have to keep logbooks because they have to keep the cows moving and get them to their destination as soon as possible.
We're kind of losing
there's
there.
Definitely there's definitely issues about transporting cattle and keeping the cattle comfortable and being able to get them from place to place without them running out of feed and water. That is a real problem.
Yeah, I presume cattle floating around in zero gravity.
Major news!
This just in, Hollywood hasn't remade Spider-Man in a couple of weeks. I hope they're okay.
Today's episode is brought to you by Floatapoo, Dog Waste Disposal System. A new dog poop disposal system that fills dog poo bags with helium to float them away forever. Fill it, float it, forget it. Major news!
Kids, this is a tabloid from 1993. Back then, fake news was called tabloids, and anyone who believed them were called idiots. Everyone knows Hillary Clinton didn't adopt alien baby. She's its real mother.
I got big news!
This just in. Hugh Poilievre reveals his party's long-term plan for Canada.
This just in. Sarah Huckabee Sanders lands new part in remake of The Grinch. Dear public, please stop calling the sheriff's office over planets.
Do you have big news too?
I got big news!
Insect that flings pee with a butt catapult is first known example of super propulsion in nature. This just in, flat earthers have a new theory that forests no longer exist. There are no such thing as trees.
This just in, Americans will use anything but the metric system.
When did the red and pink start in the Northern Lights? I know when the chemtrails started. If you think this is normal, we are so...
Breaking news right now, a dollar store in Moose Jaw is on fire, and the reports of possibly tens of dollars of damage. Any news on this, Brandon?
Yeah, that just broke about half an hour ago. Yeah, it looks like the dollar store in Moose Jaw near Staples, just off of Thatcher Drive, I think. And it's a big fire too. I have to send you the photo here. It's like massive fire, so it's going to take a while to get it out. That's for sure.
Well, it's probably so much plastic poison. There's like a whole wall of like plastic containers that will not work in 3 weeks, but you buy them anyways. And you should see how they melt though when you get a big fire in Moose Jaw. Imogen, Cookie, Bailey, any fires in Victoria going on?
Not this week, no. I had nothing to do, and I was too busy to start any. So, I had nothing to do with anything that happened that I'm not saying anything about, to be unclear. So nothing's on fire, no. Although today is National Meatball Day, and there have been a bunch of restaurants around town have been celebrating the mighty meatball in their own ways. So any place that has a lot of pasta on their menu, probably going to be a good place to get meatballs.
Do you agree with me that transporting cattle themselves floating around, pooping, peeing all over the spacecraft would not be viable, especially through a 6-month voyage and whatnot? That it would be easier to bring a test tube cow and grow a cow on, wherever we go, like the sun.
Well, the magic of growing test tube cattle on the sun is that you're actually effectively just growing hamburgers. So you're pre-grilling your beef, And I like this concept. Technologically speaking, I think we're onto something and need to pursue it.
Have you seen the size of my snowbanks? I mean, living on the sun seems still right about now.
Really?
Yeah. So it's really important. Tip for all of you: when you're driving your truck, it's always a bit light in the back end of the truck. So I mean, in Wells we have lots of snow. Come put weight in the back, but you should always put weight in the back of your truck. In order to get firewood, though, the weight must come out. There we go.
Fair enough. I'm a little jelly of your snowbanks. We don't even get frost here at this time of year.
Well, tune in next week when I'll be you'll have video of me tobogganing off my roof. And I've done this. There's already footage on my YouTube from past years. It's not like I've never tobogganed off my roof before. No, or jumped off my roof in my underwear or anything like that. So stay tuned next week. There'll be some provocative video clips.
About the cows in space, Joey?
About the cows in space. Sylvia.
You're hearing me?
Yes.
Yes. If you were going to transport a test tube cow, you still need to have a cow to grow that calf into an animal at the other end. So you have to transport one cow. But once you have one cow there, you can transport frozen embryos for millions of miles. So it would be viable to transport one cow because you could keep it in a small enough space.
You could put it in like a cow freeze. Cryogenic freezing.
Well, get it to, you just have to make a stall that was a certain size and keep a cow stay in a stall for 6 months or so while you traveled around space.
Yeah, no, you can't have turds floating into the equipment. Okay, so if we can get to another planet, if we can go and live on the sun, we can find a way to grow a cow there once we do so. I mean, this isn't rocket appliances.
To be fair, having a cow just floating around in the cabin of your ship would be kind of wild. Because, I mean, you're cruising around, you're surfing the rings of Saturn, all of a sudden you got a cow go sailing past your face, or it just kicks you in the back of the head. But the upside is that when your crewmates really annoy you, you've got like road apples just floating in the air. So you can like just pick them out of the sky and whip it at your crewmates. So
well, it's different. I've participated in many cow turd fights, but you do that in the wintertime when the you make sure you don't grab a fresh one. You don't grab a fresh one. If it looks really green, you let that one. You go to the one next to it that's frozen, and you whip it at your Uncle Gary and hit him, and then he says, "You little." There's a number of expletives I won't. Shaw would appreciate me not to say, as would everybody in CRTC and the government of North Korea and everybody, right? So, but yeah, he's like, you, and then he picks up a turd and we're like, man, can't wait for baseball season, and we're just throwing turds. It's happened. Hoya Menson.
The best thing to do would be to power your rocket ship with the turds.
Oh, Hildy, your bandwidth's so low.
Power your rocket ship with the turds, then you get there.
We're just barely getting you. Your connection is so turdy. And
would you like some trivia here?
Yes, we need some more Brandon. Some more examples of the Brandon fact sheet, please.
Okay. So here's the question I'm going to put out tomorrow, actually. So this is like tomorrow's trivia questions. So you guys are getting it early.
Tomorrow's
compared to the rest of the Facebook world here. So if you are average, you do this 3 times a day.
If you don't eat, you can't poop. And if you can't poop, you die.
I guess that's right. Yeah.
And that's the problem with having cows in your spaceship.
So I'd give you a buzzer right now. Something like that.
Do 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 do. Imogen, do you have a guess?
Yeah, anything that I'm doing 3 times a day, I can't talk about on TV.
Do 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 do. Frankie MacDonald.
Lunch, drive-through. A lot of people eat a lot of junk food, so I'm gonna go with the clean version and say junk food. Drive-through Wendy's.
Well, not the one I'm
Can't
looking
wait
for.
to
No.
drive through.
But
So she's wrong. She guessed pick your nose and eat it. And you know the rules of the show. You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you cannot pick your friend's nose.
Oh, that's right. That's gross.
Hilding?
Yeah, I
3
don't
times a
think
day? What is it? Feed the
What do you do
cows.
3 times a day?
No, you don't feed the cows 3 times a day. You don't even milk them 3 times a day.
No,
You
I
milk
feed
them
the
twice.
cows once a day.
Yeah, so
Once.
I feed them once,
times a day.
excuse me.
yeah, so definitely it's not feeding cows. I know because if it's just about wells, shovel your driveway.
no, not a shovel your driveway.
See, we're like the U.S. Marines here. Remember, we get more snow before breakfast than you get all day.
I'm gonna try to out snow you in March here. That's what I'm gonna try to do.
That's our snowiest one, dude. You're never gonna win. You're never gonna win that one. No, look at
It's our snowiest month too.
Yeah, all 7 centimeters.
20. Let's make it 20. We got over 10 now on the ground now, so we're on our way. That's right.
Oh,
well,
ugh.
Not going good, hey?
Okay. Frankie MacDonald, how would everyone find you in the world of social media out there on their computers and laptops and cell phones and all that kind of stuff?
If you want to follow me, my Twitter is @FrankieMacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok is FrankieDown984. My Clapper is FrankieDown984. My Twitch is FrankieDown984. My LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. And my Snapchat is Frankie MacDon. And my YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie Down. You're listening to Joe Young Show every Thursday nights. And you guys will see me on Base Guys Show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time on Base Guys Show YouTube channel.
And that's the Comedeorological Report for the week of Thursday, March the 9th. I'm Joey Only, your host. You can find the show live stream. We live stream the show on my YouTube channel, Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude, every week. And then we record the live stream, and then we cut it all to pieces, and we make a radio show, a TV show out of it for you. And that's what we do. Please keep coming back and by and keep supporting us. We need your love. Yes. So that's me, Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. And you can find Imogen. Imogen.in. She's out there in the world of the web. This week, she's getting interviewed by more magazines, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I just did an interview with a Rolling Stone Revolver Maxim style magazine. I'm not going to say the name of it until it's actually published. Just a little superstitious that way, but that was one of the highlights of my week, was doing that. That was a fun one.
Your success makes us happy. This is my happy for you face.
He says with much anger.
No, it's not anger. That's like extreme intention.
Yeah.
Like willing it. Yes. Like, yes.
Well,
your happiness matters.
I do have a couple more magazine covers come down the pipeline. It's a lot of work to put that together. But I've got photo shoots booked. I've got a lot of creative work going into it. A lot of hours go into it. So to create just one image that gets on that cover, there's a lot behind it. So, but that is going to be happening, and I'll let you know when that does. But
She's going to let us know here on the Comedeorological Show. Okay, that's us for this week. I hope you enjoyed meeting Frankie MacDonald once again. Happy 100th episode, Frankie.
Happy 100th episode, Joey Only Show.
Happy one. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I just love you. You're wonderful. You're funny. You're spot on with your weather, and you're a great mobilizer of people. You brought so many of us together, and we're thankful for that. So happy 100th episode, Frankie. And I'm glad the rest of you came along. Brandon Houck when you did, Imogen when you did, and Hilding when you did, plus all the other Comedeorological reporters we've had, Joe Stover, plus the ones we've had in past weeks and weeks, and who some of them will be coming back as we get roll with the new format, which is more video heavy. Okay, that's the show this week. See you next time. Bye. Everyone say bye. Wait.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, wait.
Bye.
Everyone
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Come on, bye. Wave your hands. Bye. Imogen, wave your hands. I want this. No, come on. Put some effort into it. Put some effort into it.
This is as much effort
And
as
you answer.
No,
It's
it's
fine.
not.
Your
Move
shoes.
your whole body and put your hands up there.
Hot dogs and white